for joining us this morning for Using Employment 101 in Adult Education. We're coming to you from the Southern Illinois Professional Development Center today, and we're thankful to have our presenter, Natasha Talger, with us. I'll turn the session over to her in just a minute, but first let me tell you that if you're an ICCB-funded adult education program person, you can gain 1 hour of professional development credit for this webinar. So please give us a few days to receive your PD certificate in your email. It is not automatically generated, so a human being is going to generate that for you. And actually, that human being is P. Wellen, so that's who it's going to come from. And if you don't see it in the next couple of days, check your spam, because sometimes it ends up there. And so give us till Wednesday to get that certificate out. So today, I'm with you, Sarah Goldhammer and Colleen Potter here at SIPDC, and we'll be running tech support for Natasha. If you have any questions, please put those in the question box. If you see those on the right-hand side on your screen, and you can put something in. Every so often, Natasha's going to take a little break and see if there's any questions. So if you have any questions, Natasha has also provided us with her PowerPoint, and that you can download. Again, if you look on the right-hand side in the gray bars, there's one that says handouts, and there's the handout there for you to download if you want to, of the PowerPoint. Lastly, we'd like to thank our partners at ICSPS, the Illinois Center for Specialized Professional Support, for allowing us to use the GoToWebinar platform. We're very appreciative of that. So thank you, Natasha Talger from the Illinois WorkNet, her title is Integration and Training Coordinator, and we appreciate you sharing your expertise and resources with us today. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Natasha at this point.
Thank you. Well, today I just wanted to cover a little bit. What we'll do is we have a PowerPoint that's available for you to download, so we'll give you a brief overview of, Illinois WorkNet and the information that's in Illinois WorkNet, and then we're going to go straight into a demo of Employment 101, so you can view that as a customer. And then we're going to take a look at how to view those results, excuse me, for how to view that information as a partner, so you can see the information that your customer has entered. So we'll go ahead and get started with the PowerPoint. Illinois WorkNet has a wide variety of resources that are all aimed at helping our customers reach their training and employment goals. So your students have all different types of tools to help them exploring careers, trainings, and the skills that they need. And then you, as a provider, still have access to those same resources, but you also have access to additional partner tools so that you can help provide feedback, view your customers' status, and so forth, and look at their assessment results and provide guidance. And all of this information and these tools are available to Illinois WorkNet partners for free. We're not going to go deep into these areas, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of some of the information that is just available through Illinois WorkNet. So we have all different types of skills and interest assessments. We have resources for exploring careers, and then we have resources for searching for different types of training programs and guidance, and information about how to what to look for when you're looking at different training programs. We have different guides that are available to help customers with knowing, like the job skill guide has the essential employability skills incorporated into that. We have digital literacy guides, resume writing guides. We have lots of information to help your customers with exploring careers, finding the training that they need, and then identifying the skills that they need to help show that they are qualified for the job. We also have tools to help people find job openings, resources to help connect with networking opportunities, or such as finding job fairs, finding different workshops. So those are all available through Illinois WorkNet. We also have personalized tools And so what you see on your screen right now is the dashboard, so you can see that, we have messaging tools, we have Employment 101, so you can see that information a little bit. They can bookmark information, access the resume builder, and all different types of assessments. So today what our focus is going to be on is the Employment 101 piece. Now, Employment 101 takes those components that I just showed you and puts them together in a guided tool. So there's 4 basic components to Employment 101. First is a pre-assessment, 25 questions, multiple choice, and you just take it once. So it's really just to kind of say, oh, well, what do you know about these topics already? And then we have the guide, which we'll look at in just a moment, that walks you through the process and the tools that are available in Illinois WorkNet, and you can start building out your areas where you do your career exploration research, saving your different job searches, that type of thing. And then we have a post-assessment. It's the same as the pre-assessment, but once they have completed the post-assessment with a score of 70% or higher, then they can print off a certificate of completion. Okay, so we are going to do the demonstration of Employment 101 so we can just really get into the touch and feel of it. But I do want to just show you that this PowerPoint is available, and so you don't feel like you have to soak up every little piece as we go through the through the demonstration, because this PowerPoint has the bits and pieces and different tools that we're going to cover within Employment 101. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this for the moment, and we will bring up my screen. Okay. So to get to, and we have resources that will help you guide people to Employment 101. Actually, I'll just show you that. If you're in Illinois WorkNet, under Explore Careers, there's a line item here for Employment 101. And it's an article that gives you the slide share, so you can see an overview of the information. There's a flyer, and then just a brief overview of what is Employment 101. So we're just going to go ahead and go to Employment 101. So you go to My Dashboard, select Employment 101, and you come to the screen where it shows you the 4 main chunks of Employment 101. So today we're going to look at the Employment 101 guide. And you're looking at this as an individual. So your student would come to this page, and they wouldn't, all their green dots would be way over here, and they wouldn't have anything checked. Now, Employment 101, you'll notice over the next few months, the look and feel will change, but the content's going to stay the same. So whenever you look at this section, you'll see that you can see your overall progress, because throughout this process, people can self-identify whenever they have completed each of these steps. So you can see kind of where you are. You can see what sections that you have completed and what sections are still open that need to be completed. It's broken down into 3 basic modules: prepare a career plan, prepare a job search plan, and achieve your goals. Now this was, Employment 101 was developed over time. It's been a combination of various resources that were developed over time with the Summer Youth Employment Programs. And so what we've learned over time is we started out with a set of activities, and then the next year we built upon those activities and we made everything more interactive. And one of the things that we noticed and why we went this approach for our most recent version of Employment 101 is that we found that it was really important to bring everything into one place because there's so many resources in Illinois WorkNet. We didn't want people getting confused on, oh, where do I go to find this? Where do I go to find that? Where do I fill out my information? And that's the beauty of Employment 101 is everything is right here on this page for you. And so I went into the first section, which is Explore Careers. And so you can see that with each of these, one of the other lessons that we learned is that we really needed to hone in on the big steps, the big chunks. And so we have our 4 main big chunks: discover careers that match your interests, explore jobs, identify your soft skills, identify your technical skills. And whenever you select each of these, it opens up to more details. So we have read this article, what you should know when you're selecting your career path. And so you can access this article outside of Employment 101, but what we wanted to do was bring it within Employment 101 because we didn't want our youth to get distracted and to move on to something else. We wanted them to stay focused on and really hone in on the areas to complete the activities and so forth. So we have articles. We have this interactive resource, which is the Career Information System, CIS. It is their career cluster inventory. And so this one actually does open up into a new window. You can select career cluster inventory, and you can go through and you can rate the activities. And then in the end, what the results will show you an area on most of my interests were in manufacturing. Most of my my interests fall within the healthcare industry. So those are some of the areas that I should at least explore the careers, learn a little bit more about what type of careers are available and what kind of jobs are available, especially in my area. So we also bring in information related to careers, wages, and trends using CIS information, and it presents it in a way that it's seamless, so the information is coming straight through Illinois WorkNet. And so you can look at these different areas here, the different career clusters, and when you select one of the career clusters, then you can see the different types of jobs that are available. So if I selected a job, then I could look at the wages. So I could look at an overview. I can look at employment in Outlook. And this information is just populated in right here on this page. Again, you can access this outside of Employment 101, but what we wanted to do is bring this straight into Illinois WorkNet. Okay, so as you go through and you are exploring the different careers, what we also wanted to do was give you an area where you could start taking notes. So we have the right side of the screen where you can say, add a new career, or you can look at some of your existing careers that you've already added. And you can see with this one, I have added it. And I can go ahead and do some research and say, if it's a high demand, what are the wages? I can, literally copy and paste, and then I can save the changes. And so as I go through each of these areas, I'm going to continue to be prompted to fill out the information over here to the right. Okay. So that's basically how our pages are set up to tell you if there's an article, if there's the job skill guide. That's one of the tools, as I mentioned, has the Illinois essential employability skills that are incorporated within our job skill guide. Those are available. Okay, so I can go to the next step. The next part is for, we already explored careers. Now we're going to take a look at different trainings. So you can see we have some videos that are incorporated into this, as well as the articles. We have a search, so they can go through and search for different types of training programs. And then again, some more articles. And then areas where they can update information. So if I had something, my CNC, I can select that as my training, my career area, and then I can take notes on the different types and put different, identify training programs, identify the school, take notes, and then, put some notes down here that, based on the cost it's going to take for training and how long, what's my return on my investment, because is it likely that I'm able to get a job in the career area that I've been trained for or not. The next area is getting qualified. So we have information about creating a plan, identifying ways to help you pay for school, and then really talking about credentials and putting more emphasis on credentials so that you can show that you're qualified for different opportunities. I could speak here. We also have area, now you can see we just went straight over into prepare a job search plan. So we have information about getting organized. We have a resume builder that's available, and it's Optimal Resume. I'm not sure if you've ever used it or not, but it is it's a tool that you would otherwise have to pay for. But as an LMI WorkNet partner, you and your customers can use Optimal Resume within LMI WorkNet for free. So it's a pretty neat tool, and we have lots of videos on that. And we can do a follow-up webinar just on Optimal Resume if you would like. Again, information about putting together your portfolio, and then, again, preparing a plan. We have information for networking, so you can see that these are the different types of areas that I had shown on the PowerPoint. We have these different resources built in, but we hone it into getting prepared to network, writing your elevator speech, top 10 tips for networking. So we handpicked some of the articles and videos to pull it all together within Employment 101. We have search for job openings. And so what we wanted to do also is provide a way that you could add in and kind of like keep a job search record. So as we move forward in future enhancements, I'm sure this is an area that we're going to build out or make it easily accessible outside of Employment 101. But what you can do is you can enter in your employer information, address, phone number, show that you've done some homework. What do they do? What is their vision, website? I've got some of these that are already filled out here. So I just went on the internet and looked up some places that offered CNC type jobs. So you can see I literally copied and pasted the information into LMI WorkNet, and we have it broken down so you can say, when I submitted my application, who I submitted it to, did I submit a cover letter, when, customized resume, when, portfolio, when. So these are different tools that are all available within Optimal Resume as well. Keep your job description, and then also so you can track your interview status. So as you fill out these different pieces and parts that are within this area, you can see I kind of get my summary up here. So you can see my list of employers that I applied to and my interview status.
Natasha, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Got a couple of questions. One is, James wants to know, is Optimal Resume available for free to Illinois Community College students?
Yes, as long as you are a partner and accessing it through LMI WorkNet, it is free.
Okay, yeah. So, and the good news is adult education is, we're a partner with Illinois WorkNet, and so we really very much appreciate these free resources. And then also a little bit ago, you had some notes up on the right-hand side, and Teresa would like to know who can actually see those notes.
Okay, very good question. So are you talking about this orangish, beigeish color, right? That area?
I think what Teresa was talking about, and Teresa, correct me if I'm wrong, because she actually put it up a little bit ago, that you were taking notes. It was in the previous, before you went into the resume folder.
Yes. Yep. So what you can do is it'll be in View My Plan. So as you add these in, it's going to build out your plan. So then I click View My Plan, and then I can see it's going to have them side by side. So in a previous days, I did research on CNC, machining, air conditioning, architecture, or agricultural engineer, I guess I started. And then, so all those notes that I took are now in this area. And then you can see that for like industrial machinery mechanics, it separates my training program. So in this example, I only researched one training provider program for CNC, but I did 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Well, CNA, it really isn't the example, but I put it underneath, under the area of reviewing when I was taking the notes, I attached it to industrial machinery mechanics. So you can see both the career exploration as well as the training research in one page. Now when you get to the job search area, you could see, that I have my elevator speech, so that's something that you could have information on. These are the examples of the employers that I did some research and took some notes on. So they're side by side, but if I just wanted to do something like compare 2 of them, I could unclick the ones I don't want to see side by side, especially if I have quite a few. I could narrow it down. So it even has the application information, interview information. So that's all under My Plans. And then we have information for notes, and then your Smart Plan. Does that answer the question? Okay.
So yes,
Now the last,
that did. Thank you.
uh-huh. So you get the gist of how it's laid out. One of the things, another thing that we wanted to make sure that, especially because this is developed for the youth program, but it's really applicable to everybody, but we wanted to have, not just stopping at, exploring careers, training programs, getting a job. We wanted to have information about starting a job. So, there's information about like being prepared to accept the job, what to do for your first day of the job, how to get ready, understanding expectations, being safe in your new job. We have information about setting, financial goals, so about setting up your checking account, just some articles about budgeting. And then we also have skills for success. So one of the areas that was a big component of the Summer Youth Employment Program, and this is why it's in here, is that one of the areas that they wanted to talk about was violence prevention. So if you're wondering why we have violence prevention in there, that's why it's in this area. Then we also have more information about, their soft skills and really focusing on the career advancement part of the workplace skills. And then, the benefits of volunteering. Those are some of the areas that we have under achieving your goals. Okay. So that's the overview of Employment 101. Are there any other questions before we start looking at it from the, oh, you know what I did want to do? I wanted to show you your dashboard. And so we do have the different pieces and parts available on the customer's dashboard. So we have a variety of tools for setting up messages and so forth. Just so you know, also, they have to be logged in to use Employment 101, and that's because we're saving information and we need to know who to save it with. But if they ever needed to change their password, then they could, this is up here under settings. As you go through the different tools and areas within WorkNet, you'll see places where you can, says bookmark, but you can bookmark, you know, various resources as well as jobs. It gives you on their dashboard, it shows you what has been completed. So you can say I have my pre-assessment completed, my post-assessment completed, and I can access the certificate of completion, which showed up over here on my other screen. And then they can update their resume, they can go to the resume builder, they can go to the guide, but then they can see the different areas that they have saved information. So in this account, I have a saved cover letter, resume, portfolio. I've done some practice interviewing, and I have some assessment saved. I just don't have, I haven't created a website. I haven't done that. And then they can see their skills and interests, or the different assessments. Mm-hmm.
One other question, Julianne wants to know, can the teacher access the student's information?
Yep, that's the part we're just leading into. A great question. We'll go ahead and move on over there. Now, as a partner, if you're not already a partner, go to lmyworknet.com. And the easiest way for me to always tell everyone is in the footer of LMyWorkNet, there's partner resources. So you can always find our partner resources down here at the bottom of LMyWorkNet. We do have a short URL. It's lmyworknet.com/partners. So either way, whichever way is easiest for you to remember. Once you go to this page, there's a couple different things. We have some global partner tools, and those have basic information that you don't have to be logged in order to see. So you can find out, like at a glance, you know, some of the information, excuse me, for each of these. So if you're not a partner, you can click on Create a Partner Account, and it will give you the information in order to become a partner. All this information is also available in our menu area as well. So once you become a partner, there's a process for becoming a partner, because we want to make sure that you are really a partner. And so what that means is that you would just go ahead and go through the process of, you know, making sure that we have your location identified in LMyWorkNet, and then you have to create an account. We want to make sure that you're in the service finder, and then you'll submit a request to become a partner. And then what we'll do is follow up and make sure that when we call you back, is to make sure that you really, you know, verify that you're with that organization and that you're really a person, not a machine, something like that. And then we'll give you access to become a partner. We have those resources available.
And Natasha, thank you. I just want to interrupt one more time. So somebody was, Catherine was asking, does Employment 101 system talk to DAISY, that's our adult ed system, to see if students are currently enrolled in adult ed classes? And it does not. Right? There's no, right, okay. And So as a teacher, though, they would need to go ahead and become a partner. That basically they just need to show that they're an educator. Is that correct, Natasha?
Yeah, they would just put their organization, like who they're with, in LMI WorkNet. We have all different types of partners. We have faith-based organizations, community-based organizations, libraries. So really what we want to do is make sure that, either you're like with community college or you're with faith-based, community-based, something like that, and that, it's an appropriate person and not somebody that's just trying to take LMI WorkNet resources and sell them, or, you do something inappropriate, have, access to customer information that shouldn't.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then, so what you're going to do with this, I just want to show you some of these resources real quick. Now, the way that you're going to, excuse me, access this customer information is through our Customer Support Center. So the page that I'm on right now, you don't have to be logged in to see. Anyone can see it. And it gives you a little bit of information about what is the Customer Support Center, the different types of Customer Support Centers we have, and kind of like how to use them and who and how the benefits and how you do it. So for your area, for this audience, what you're going to use is this general invitation, also known as a personal group. And so all of our LMI WorkNet partners have the ability to have a personal group, okay? And what it does is it uses an invitation process to have your customers join your group, and then they agree to let you have access to their information. And so there's a couple ways that you can do it. Go ahead and bring this instruction sheet up. Okay, it gives you the instructions on if you're going to go create a personal group, you're going to use the invitation, you're going to create an invitation, and what you can do is what I like to do, the easiest way I think, is you just create a group invitation. Because if you have like let's say you're in their classroom or in a computer lab and you have all your students right there, you can say, go to lmiworknet.com/invite, and then you're going to log in or create your LMI WorkNet account, and then you're going to be prompted to enter a passcode. And so whenever you set up this invitation, you set up a passcode. And so in this particular example, it was Chelsea Jones group. That was the passcode that your students would enter, and then they would see a page and they would say, accept the invitation. So once they accept the invitation, then they're in your group. You can also send out an individual email, but if you have your audience right there in front of you, it's just, in my opinion, easier just to go ahead and use that group invitation and have them log in and accept to be part of your group. Okay, those instructions are available, and I'm going to show you how I got to this page. There's a couple ways. You can go to Menu, Customer Support Center, and it's also available. There's some information about Customer Support Center off this main page. It takes you to the same thing. So I always try to give you a couple ways to access the same information, depending on your navigation style. Okay, so let's say that you've already become a partner, and you've already read the instructions on your Customer Support Center. And so I'm going to go to My Dashboard, and the Customer Support Center is under Partner Tools. Your listing right here is going to be a little bit different just because I'm at the statewide level, so I see a variety of things a little bit more. I have access to more tools, so your page may look a little bit different, so don't be alarmed if it does. But you'll go to Partner Tools, and you'll go to Customer Support Center. So when you go to your Customer Support Center, in my customer support center, I have access to a whole gob of things. But what you're going to see is a link up here, and it says something like create my personal group. So you'll create your personal group, and then you're going to be listed to, let's see, I'm going to show you my, so you'll see that I have a personal group for Natasha Telger. So I can use my personal group, click on that. And once you are in your personal group, you have a couple tabs. You're going to see your customers right here. And so these are the people that have accepted your invitation. Okay. I'm going to go to my sample account, an older account, but it still has some information that's been saved in there. And one of the things that is important to note, that with your customer group and your, accessing your customers, probably one of the most useful tools that you should know and have in your little toolbox is to know that you can help them reset their password, because guess what? People forget their passwords all the time, and then they change their email, and, there's all kinds of reasons why people forget their passwords and need help with resetting it. And you have the ability to reset up your students' passwords once they have accepted the invitation to be part of your group. So that's an important detail. And then so you can see their assessment. And part of this is Employment 101. So you can see if they've taken the pre-assessment, if they've taken the post-assessment, and this, see what this account has. Okay. This is an older account, so I was a little bit nervous on what kind of information is in there. I had looked at a different account earlier. So you can see all the different pieces and parts that they have saved. So the question earlier is who can see those notes? You as a partner can see the notes that they have saved as well they can too. And it's available under the Assessments tab in Employment 101. We also have a variety of other assessments. So as part of this, the completing Employment 101, I showed you that the career interest inventory was in there. And if you click on View Interest, then you can see what those results were for their different interest inventories. We have Disability Benefits Estimator. If they've taken the NACI, we have all different types of assessments that are available for you to look at as well. But those will focus on a different webinar if you would like to have a webinar to cover the different types of assessments that are available. We do have that information as well in LMI WorkNet related to assessments. And then with Optimal Resume, you can also see what they have saved in Optimal Resume. So as part of Employment 101, they're prompted to go to Optimal Resume to complete, to use the different tools that are available within Optimal Resume. And what's really nice about this is that Optimal Resumes are great. They have their whole system outside of LMI WorkNet, obviously, where they have an interface where you can see your customers or the people that you're working with, their resumes and so forth. But they've been really great in working with us so that we can use LMI WorkNet as a way to provide that appropriate access level to the different customers. And so now you don't have to know another system outside of LMI WorkNet. We're bringing in those tools that are available, and we're bringing all that information to you within LMI WorkNet. So in this case, you can see that this person has completed an assessment and a couple of resumes, and you can view their results. You can't change anything but you can view it. Okay, so if maybe you had an assignment where they had to complete their resume, you could look at this resume, and then you could also use the send message tool to say, great job, this is what I would change, or whatever the case may be, or we'll review this on Wednesday or something like that. But we do have the messaging tools. Now that messages can be sent as a message only or as a message and an email. When we say messages, it means that it'll go to the LMI Worknet, your student's LMI Worknet account, and if you choose message and email, it'll go to their LMI Worknet account plus whatever email they have saved in their profile. So you can see right here, this is where they would access their messages.
Natasha?
Yes.
You have time for a couple of questions?
Sure.
Okay, so Warren wants to know, does the group provide data that can be used in reports or statistical data of use, progress, attendance as examples?
We have reports that will show you like if they've completed or like for assessment. So which assessments that they've completed. One slow here. So you can see NOCTI, and so for how many people have completed the NOCTI, Employment 101, and how many haven't. So we have these types of reports that are available. Let me go back to my customer group here. But we don't have anything like on attendance.
Okay. All right. And then Catherine wanted to know, do you know the minimum reading level that's required for our students as customers to use Employment 101?
Well, as the LMI Worknet, we've always, to the very best of our ability, when it comes to the individual side of LMI Worknet, is to stay within a 6th grade reading level, 6th grade or lower. Sometimes that gets to be a challenge when you talk about competencies and, when you use words like just kind of, or credentials or something like that, that you have to say those words multiple times. Or apprenticeships, some of the longer words, but we always try to, whenever possible, keep the reading level to 6th grade level or lower.
Okay, thanks. And then another question, how long do the accounts stay active? Can they be used when they're no longer our students?
Yes. Yes, and okay, so that brings up a really important point, is that we only want them to have one account. So yes, you can keep your LMI Worknet account for as long as LMI Worknet is in existence. I mean, if you look at this one, this is my sample account that was created in 2009. So I still use it, still update it every once in a while. But yeah, and these are my account right here was created in 2005. So yeah, they most definitely can keep that same account, and we encourage them to only have one account.
Right.
Really
so
important.
They might come in through, if I'm a teacher and I invite somebody, they may come in and create their account as part of my invitation, but whether they're in my class or not, 6 months from now, they can continue using this service, correct?
Most definitely, yes. And if they already have an LMI Worknet account, then definitely just log in with whatever LMI Worknet account they're currently using.
Okay. And then Betsy wants to know, what's NOCTI?
NOCTI is the 21st Century Skills Assessment, and let me go to my partner page. That one up here. Well, let me go down. Partner resources. So I'm going to go to the assessment page because I'm going to show you where you can find this information as well. I'll tell you a little bit about it. One of the things that we have done within LMI Worknet is we wanted to provide like a set of assessments. Okay, so we have the Skills and Interest Survey, Employment 101. And Employment 101, as you saw, was more about like job search, exploring careers, finding jobs. So the questions that are Employment 101 are really about like resume writing, finding a job, network, workplace skills, a few workplace skills type questions that are in there. Now the NOCD is a proctored assessment. There's a charge normally that's associated with it, but it's free for Illinois WorkNet partners. We have a subscription, unlimited subscription. So your students could take it as many times as they want, but they probably wouldn't want to because there's a 3-hour time limit. I'd say most people probably don't need a 3-hour time limit, but it is a timed assessment and proctored online. And it is, as you can see, non-occupation specific, and it has, it's all about, there's the different workplace skills that are available, that are covered, as well as, reading, and a little bit of math, a little here and there. And you can offer that session in either 3 1-hour sessions, 2 90-minute sessions, or 3 60-minute sessions. So we offer it in a way that, to try to work with the amount of time you have with that individual at the moment. And there's a text-to-speech option that's available. And so let me go back up here to, there's their blueprint. And it covers we have cheat sheet guides to this as well. I just want to show you because it's a prettier version. So you can see reading skills, math skills, writing, speaking, listening. And so this covers a wide variety of areas, and this also matches up with our job skill guide. So we try to make sure we're covering these areas. They've changed some of the names of these over time. Because they do update it. I think it's every 2 years, 2 or 3 years. And but this is a multiple choice type question. So when you talk about NOCD, it's really about your knowledge of workplace skills and what's expected and what's needed on the job. But in addition to the NOCD assessment that we have here, we also have the observational evaluation, and so we want to test or assess their knowledge of workplace skills, but it's one thing to talk the talk, it's another thing to walk the walk. So we have the observational evaluation so that it's used as a training tool within a classroom setting so that you can say, these are the different areas that an employer is going to look at when they're going to evaluate you on these different areas whenever you're actually in a job. And so, these are the expectations for, work ethic, problem solving, attendance, all those type of things. These are the expectations, and I'm going to evaluate you on how you do these within the classroom setting. And so it can be used as a developmental tool, training tool within the classroom setting. So it's one thing to know about what to do, another thing to be able to perform those skills. And then we also have the worksite evaluation. So if you have individuals that are at a work site and you're working, worksite placement, then you could have employers complete a worksite evaluation that does basically the same type of thing. It's just completed, at the work site by an employer versus in the classroom setting by a training provider. And all these results are saved within Illinois WorkNet. So on that assessment tab, you would be able to see those assessment results. And so would your customers, your students. Any other questions?
I think that's all the questions we have right now, but thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We have had a request to review how to sign up as a partner, so we will do that if it's okay with you at the end, if anybody wants to stay and see that. Does that sound okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Natasha. I think that, yeah, I think, go ahead.
Okay. With the, I was just going to, some of these pages here. Okay. So, again, all of our partner tools, the easy way to remember it, just always look in the footer. You'll see partner resources. You can always use our menu item, but we try to put some of these global partner tools right here on the very front page of the partner side so you can easily access the information. We have create a partner account, which will take you to a page so you can see instructors and advisors. So we have different articles that we put out there to help you with, why would you want to become a provider and a partner and how to get that started. And so we have the Become a Partner Quick Start Guide and, why to become a partner, how to become a partner. Really what it boils down to is you just go to illinoisworknet.com and create an Illinois WorkNet account. And if you don't already have, you can look at the Illinois WorkNet Service Finder, and that's our listing of partners. And you can add a location. So that's how you would request to have your partner site added. And so you can add your location, and as part of this process, it's going to walk you through the information that we would need to know about you as a partner. Then part of that is if you're open to the public or not. And if you're not, then we wouldn't necessarily display you on our Illinois WorkNet map, but we still need the information. So it's about when you go through this process, it'll ask you about the different types of service, your contact location or your contact information, of course, and then the different types of services that you offer, and who should be the primary contact. And then what you would do once you have your Illinois WorkNet account, and if you need to add your location, then add it. Otherwise, if you're already part of, you're already in the service finder, then you don't need to fill it out again. And then you just send a request to info@illinoisworknet.com and just say, I'd like to become an Illinois WorkNet partner. Make sure you put your name as it appears in Illinois WorkNet, the name of your organization as it appears in the service finder, and then your address and work phone number. And then what we'll do is we have an actual person or people divide up that task, and they follow up to make sure that you indeed do work for are associated or work for that organization, and then we'll give you, we'll change your account to a partner account. So if you already have an Illinois WorkNet account, use that existing account. We don't need you to create a separate one. Just use that existing account. Check to see if you have your locations in the service finder, and if it is, then great. All you have to do is skip to step 3 and send us an email with the information that's listed.
Natasha, another question. Catherine's wondering, might these assessment measures be used as WIOA compliance indicators, such as employer satisfaction?
I am not familiar with that. I mean, I can ask that question, but I'm leery about I don't know enough about that particular item to say. So
Okay.
let me so it's WIOA employee compliance
Indicators.
indicators such as employer satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, off the cuff, I would assume yes, but I would need to know, like, what does that really mean?
We might need to follow up with Catherine after this or at the end and kind of make sure that we're completely understanding everything that she wants there. But yes.
Okay. Are there any other questions, or?
I don't see any right now.
That's all I have for today. I really appreciate you offering up this time to share these resources.
We really appreciate you sharing these resources, and you've made comments about some other webinars, and if any of you out there are thinking, oh, that sounds good, I can assure you that I'm going to be following up with Natasha and try to schedule some additional webinars so that we can use these great free resources. And you're getting some thanks from different folks that are out there. We appreciate, Natasha, you sharing and spending time with us. And everybody, thanks for coming and learning and for all that you do for those that you serve out there in our state. But otherwise, I think we're going to finish up. Warren, did we answer? Let us know in the chat box or the question box if we answered, if you want more information about becoming a partner organization. Otherwise, if you don't have any questions, then you're free to take off and enjoy your Friday. And we'll stay on for a couple more minutes just to see if there's any other questions that come up. Otherwise, as I said before, thanks for joining us today.